76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And according to Forbes, 93% of business owners pay more than legally required to pay in income tax. And nearly 50% of all Americans have bad credit, but not you. At least not anymore. See, this is the School of Wealth, where you learn how to maximize your credit, minimize your taxes, and multiply your assets so you can create generational wealth. Hi, I'm Rondi Lambeth, certified FICO credit professional, author, speaker, and tax strategist. For the last 20 years, I've helped tens of thousands of Americans just like you take control of their money, fix their credit, wipe out their debt, cut their taxes by 50%, and multiply their assets. If you're ready to break free from the rat race and start building a life of freedom and abundance, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the School of Wealth. All right, welcome to the studio, Stacy.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, tell us, because I don't even want to try to pronounce your last name. I'd just butcher it.
Bahrenfuss, Stacy Bahrenfuss.
Bahrenfuss?
Bahrenfuss, easy.
Bahrenfuss.
Bahrenfuss.
That's a lot easier than what it looks like on when it's written down.
I know.
And it's Stacy with a Y, no E.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. Every once in a while, I'll go to text you and I type in E.
Yes.
And it doesn't show up. And
Yes.
I'm like, oh yeah, no E.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming over.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be
excited to
fun.
bring another element to the School of Wealth today.
Yes. We're going to talk about women in wealth, which you are my first woman on the show
Yes.
since 2019.
Wow. I feel honored.
Yeah. Last one was, I call her Yoga Jenny.
Okay. Following up by Yoga Jenny.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into it. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up at?
Originally, so I was born in Alabama, but grew up here in Idaho in the Sun Valley area. And my junior year of high school, moved to Cascade. And while I was just miserable in Cascade, Idaho, graduating, I was joking with some friends and said I was going to be a real estate agent at Tamarack. That was a resort that was opening up in the 2003, 2004 it was launching. And I was joking with some friends and applied to be a salesperson, and they ended up hiring me as one of the sales coordinators. So, handling all the files.
Yeah.
And that's where the love of real estate began, was a senior in high school at Cascade High School.
Okay.
Just being an assistant and a hostess up at Tamarack.
So you went from Alabama.
Yep.
I spent some time in Alabama.
Yes.
At Fort Rucker.
That's where I was born.
Oh, you were?
No way.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone ever mentioning Fort Rucker.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I guess
Okay.
I'm sure. I spent 4 months there learning how to fix helicopters.
That's amazing.
And then I plan on spending 2 years there to fly helicopters, because that's originally what I got in the military to do, was fly
Yeah.
helicopters.
And my dad was there. He was an air traffic controller.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
All
and
right.
so that's why we moved to Haley, because he was a part of opening the tower in Haley.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went from Fort Rucker, born there, and then you went to
Haley, Idaho.
Haley, which
Yep.
is right outside Sun Valley.
Yes.
And then you went to Cascade.
Then I went to Cascade.
So talk about a big culture shock.
Huge culture shock. And I often say to people, Haley is not huge, but it is giant compared to Cascade. I had 23 people in my graduating class in Cascade. Yeah.
Cascade is very small.
Very small.
So then you went to work as a sales rep for the Tamarack Lodge and Resort.
Yep.
I just took my grandson there 2 months ago now to go snowboarding. So his first time in Powder, which I can't wait to take him to Utah or Colorado to go snowboarding. He had a great time. So did my daughter with the snowboarding up there. So the resort there is actually recovered.
Yes.
So you started at 19.
Yeah, so at the time I was there 17.
17,
Yep. And so
okay.
was an assistant, and then just fell in love with real estate and the fact that there's no ceiling. You can create, whatever level of success you want to create. And also you can change the client experience, because when I was there, it was, keep in mind, 03, 04. So it was wild times.
Yeah.
And people would call in and they wouldn't get calls back. So I was excited about elevating the client experience from that angle.
That's the thing about real estate is, it's funny. I go to places and events and I'll ask, people, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm in real estate. And I'm like, can you be more specific?
Yes.
What do you mean you're in real estate? Because there's so many different aspects of real estate.
Yeah.
And I spent a little time with real estate myself.
I know.
My first house, I went up to and saw it recently.
Really?
It's still there. It's in the trailer park in John Day, Oregon.
Okay.
I bought it for $15,000 in 1989.
See, I'm surprised it was 15,000.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
it was.
Yeah, nice one.
And I listened to family, and they said when I moved, so I left John Day, Oregon to go to Denver, Colorado to become a fireman. And they're like, you don't want to be a property manager, sell it. So I sold it for like $16,000 or $17,000.
Okay.
That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in real estate, because I sat down and I figured out the amount of rent that I received. It was over $300,000 I would have received in rent.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah, you can make a lot of money in trailer parks.
Yes.
You know, that's speaking of different ways to make money in real estate.
Absolutely.
So you were involved in real estate at the same time I was. So
Yes.
I bought a brokerage in 2005.
Okay.
And I owned it until 2015, Exit Realty franchise
Okay.
in Colorado Springs. So remember the stated income loans?
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
of
you
course.
state how much money you made.
Yes, you have a heartbeat, you're in, get the
you're
money
in,
and go.
you get the money and go, yeah.
Totally.
So how long did you do that?
So I was licensed in 2006 in Boise. So I migrated down here, got licensed in 2006, and then did that until 2021. I did my first subdivision in 2020, and that took a long time. And I think it wasn't just the subdivision that I was ready to be done with real estate, but I always had this different calling that was brewing well before starting real estate, and so stopped it in 2021.
So you stopped it. Do you still have a real estate license?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I still have my broker's license. I always say like it makes way more sense keeping that than going through all of the schooling that's required.
Yeah, to get it back.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what happened in 2021?
So in 2021, I started a company called The Truth Teachers. And the reason that I started that was because in 2013, so I'll take you back in time, I had set a goal with my real estate team at the time to go from 6 million to 32 million. And I wanted to do that in a year. And we did it in just about 18 months. And we did that, and I was sitting in the office of the developer that we were all celebrating this milestone, and everyone was thrilled. They were excited. Everyone except me, the person that had the vision, the idea, paid all the bills, everything. I wasn't feeling anything. And so that sent me on this journey of personal development. So I went to India a few times. I did all the Tony Robbins, any personal development that I get my hands on. And there was like a different conversation that I wasn't hearing that was bringing like spirituality and business together and harnessing those two things. And so that, fast forward back to 2021, is what inspired Truth Teachers to start, was wanting to bring to the marketplace what I myself couldn't find. And so that's what took place in 2021.
Wow.
Yes.
So you were doing at that time 32 million in gross sales.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the
Back
average.
then, it was a lot.
Yeah,
Today, it'd
even
be a
there,
lot more.
yeah, because the average realtor is like 3 deals a year or something.
Yeah.
And once you go through your family, then you don't do anything after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So you were quite successful. That's very successful.
Yeah, yeah. We were, the top number 5
I mean, that's $1
team
million
in
a
Idaho.
year in commissions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was great. And I think that's what confused everyone, was like, I just had to walk away. And everyone was like, how are you walking away from this successful business? And it was just like, I couldn't start the new thing with my identity was so wrapped in it, starting it so young. So yeah, separated it. Again, looking back, probably a more mature move I would have made today, but hey, it's all good.
So you went from that to Truth Teachers.
Yes. Yep.
And then what's Truth Teachers?
And so
now?
Truth Teachers is primarily working one-to-one, consulting women leaders that had businesses over 7 figures, because what I noticed was that there was a conversation that we were desperately needing in the marketplace that wasn't about performance coaching. It wasn't about, sitting on a mountain in India for 30 days like I had done, but there was something where we could bring the worlds together. And so Truth Teachers was one-to-one coaching, again, with those women leaders.
There's not much in coaching, like true coaching for women, successful women. I know there's life coaches and other types of coaching, but there's not really much out there for women, is there?
No, and there's not much. There's really nothing for women after you're successful, because what happens is, as women, it's like we become successful, and what happens is we leave ourselves out of the equation. And so there's nothing that helps us sort of on the heroine's journey, like the hero's journey, like there is, I think, in the life coaching world. Because this isn't life coaching when you figured out life. Like when you're successful in life, what is it? It's more of that, embodiment coaching and leadership piece.
Yeah, I have several female clients that I try to coach. but there's just so much of that. I mean, I can coach you on money and credit and taxes.
Yeah.
And that's about the extent of it. Or, leadership, how to run your company and how to interview people and bring out the best in your clients and stuff. But
Yes.
it seems like for women, there's a lot more needed than just that. And as a man, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, well, and I think I'm having an idea of a way we can collaborate in the future as we're sitting here.
I'll just send them to you.
Yeah, no, I think because there is this piece of like women have an identity piece that's wrapped up that's different than men as it relates to money and wealth. And I think that's the piece you're speaking to, where it's like it matters who the woman thinks she is in handling the money, where men don't have that sort of, rite of passageway that they feel like they have to get there to be worthy to have the millions or the billions, and women are very much tied up in that. But maybe you can speak to it. Maybe there is a man angle. I'm not.
Well, yeah, there's definitely, I say this, that women are born, men are made. And what I mean by that is not in business, but just in general in life. Men have to make themselves. They have to go out and prove themselves to the world. They have to become successful. Because when I say they have to, in order to be a top shelf man, a man that women would desire, they have to go out and do that, where women don't necessarily have to do that to be desired by a man. But on where I see that, where you come in is, and where these women would really struggle is when they make the money, is do they deserve that money?
Yeah.
And then when you start having a family, how that can really tie into it.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
When I left home at 15, my mom let me go. She gave me $20 in food stamps and a bag of apples and see you. And I really was bitter for most of my life. And I really kind of blamed her, and is really upset that she would choose my stepdad over me and my brother. And it wasn't until probably about 10 years ago that I learned that up until 1977, 1978, women were not legally allowed to have a credit card, to have a bank account, to sign a lease on an apartment or a house, to buy a car. Women could vote, but they didn't have a right to have these accounts without someone co-signing for them.
Right.
And now that totally changed my thinking of my mom. It was like, she had 6 kids at the time, and she didn't really have a choice with it, because, and that really opened my eyes on how women back in the day, if you will, in the 70s, 80s, really how difficult they had it. And they're starting to come out of it now. Yeah. And now, excuse me, with people like you, that really allow them to blossom into something else.
Yeah.
And how many people do stuff like what you do with Truth Seekers?
I mean, the thing that's different, there's a lot of spiritual coaches, there's a lot of business coaches, and I'm wanting to fill the niche between the two. And so I think that in my experience, and this is part of why I created what is now SoulCharge. So Truth Teachers, I created a framework within that's now SoulCharge. That's the physical locations and the group coaching, just so you can connect that. But what I found in my experience was that there were business coaches and there were like the spiritual energetic coaches, but those coaches didn't necessarily represent success all the time, right? It's more of like a way of life where you have... Delete that part.
No, we don't delete anything.
I was gonna go. You have foil on your head. You're living in the woods. Like a woman leader is out there moving and shaking. She's not putting foil on her head and thinking the world's going to end, right?
Or going out in the woods and having a scream fest.
Yeah, exactly.
What I saw floating around on social media recently.
Exactly. So so I think it's this idea of like, we relate to you because we're successful in business, and we're also going to show you how to use like your spiritual essence and energy as the fuel for your business and your success, instead of achieving as the fuel.
Yeah, I think one of the things that it's a big turnoff for me, as far a turnoff as in doing business with women, is when they're trying to be so masculine. Yes. And one of the things I really appreciate about my girlfriend, and she's a powerhouse when it comes to women in business, and what I appreciate about her is she's not trying to be a man. She's very feminine.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate about you is you're not trying to be the boss.
Yeah.
You know, boss lady.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of women are trying to be boss lady, and it's not congruent. It's not normal. It's not that it's not normal, but it's just not natural.
Yeah, it's
you
not
don't
natural.
have to be like that.
No.
You know, to be successful. You can still be a woman and be successful.
Yeah, you don't have to be like in this, because I think what you're saying is like this facade of like this dominating energy to get things done, which is full of control and masculinity, which is polarizing to a man.
That's one of the things I really, really love about President Trump.
Yes.
Is how he surrounds himself with very powerful, intelligent women.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at his administration, half of it, I don't know if it's half or 30%, but there is a lot of women in his staff.
Yeah.
And you probably know this, that he's the first person to ever hire a woman to be the general contractor of one of his skyscrapers.
Yes, yeah.
I think that was
heard
in Chicago or New York. But first time, and then she turned on him, but whatever. You know.
We'll leave that out.
You give somebody a couple $1 million, they'll
Yes.
say anything if they're desperate. Unethical people. So with SoulCharge now,
Yeah.
do you do live events? I think I saw something like that.
Yeah. So basically, we offer live events. They're called pop-ups, and they're to give an in-person experience of the curriculum and the transformation, because we really believe that transformation doesn't have to take time. So we want people to see that within 2 hours, you can come and leave different. And so what's also rolling out is our SoulCharge centers. And so one of the things that I realized in working with these powerful women leaders is we would get through 6 to 9 months of work with me, and then they would want to start seeking out a functional medicine doctor to check into their physical body and their hormones, because they're starting to feel alive and aligned inside, but then they would want to take that outside. And so with our SoulCharge centers, you come in, you have an assessment with a functional medicine doctor and one of our SoulCharge coaches, and we actually work together to bring your inner world and outer world aligned. And then we have a series of body workers, massage therapy, and different energy machines like the biocharger, like the ozone sauna, the red light therapy. And the outcome of the SoulCharge centers is to give a place where people can come for that internal and external transformation, and then they can opt to work on themselves more deeply through our group coaching programs and our one-on-one programs. And so that's what SoulCharge is today. So we have a location in Boise, and then are rolling out Orange County, California, and Sedona, Arizona next.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm excited about
I
it.
did, 2019, I started doing a lot of work on myself. I read many, many books. One was The Body Keeps Score.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah. And then The Emotion Code.
Yes.
Do you have any of the Emotion Code like therapists?
Yeah. So it's funny. A woman that I was interviewing this week to be one of our coaches is certified in that modality, if you will.
Yeah.
One of the things that I like to lead with SoulCharge is that we are modality free, so that we instill in our clients that you are the creator and the source of it all. And emotion code or tapping or whatever supporting things you might do are an addition, but that you have the ability to command and create your reality without anything else.
Yeah. You know, that's great that you're doing all of that, because when I was involved in real estate, and even today when I go and speak at other places, I'll talk to other women and stuff that are there, and they're getting business coaching. But again, it's on the money side.
Yeah.
You know, on the success side. And before we went on air, my daughter, who's the producer, Chastity, of the show, we were talking about the demographic and how it's majority men, and that's really the social media side with the credit repair business and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I learned it'd been around 2003, I went through a MBA program in Colorado, and it was a Christian-based MBA program to become a financial pastor for New Life Church.
Oh, wow.
And it was 18 months long, 3 days a week, and it was how to create a budget and how to become debt-free and all the financial stuff. And one of the things I learned in there, it was over 80% of finances and household finances are controlled by women. 80% or more. And what was really unfortunate about that is they don't want to run all the money. and that's what I found most of my tax clients are women, where the credit repair are the men that sign up because they screwed up the credit for both of them.
Yes.
And then they're trying to fix it.
That's so interesting.
But very few women want to run the finances, but they're stuck with it because the men just don't want to take responsibility of actually managing the money. And I think it would be great if there was more of an emphasis of training women on how to manage the money to take some of that pressure and stress off of them, because they already have so much, and I also see that women get very guilty. They blame themselves and they hold a lot of guilt, where men, they just kind of brush it off like, yeah, I screwed up my credit, big deal, doesn't matter. Where women are looking down the road.
Yes.
Because they know that for the next 7 to 10 years, that late payment's going to hurt them.
Right.
Or 7 to 10 years, the fact that they didn't file their tax return. I'm trying to think of how many women I've ever talked to that went years without filing their tax return. I can only think of one.
Wow.
On the man side, though, it's dozens and dozens. Like, yeah, I'm filing my taxes for 5 years. It's no big deal. Gosh. How would you feel, Stacy, if you hadn't filed your taxes?
I can't even imagine. I can't process what you're saying right now. But I think what you're saying is so true. Like, women not only take it personally, but they process it totally personally. That if they don't pay a bill, they're bad versus it's bad. It's more of like a shame game as it relates to money than for men. Like, that's not the same story.
Yeah, it really isn't.
No.
It's like, oh, I'll just go make some more money, or I'll just go create something else.
Yeah. And I think women also look at it like as very like finite, where it's like if they mess something up, it's like punishment forever kind of thing, versus like, again, they just like are taking it personally versus it being separate outside of them.
Yeah, they can't. I think men can really, at least I know for me, when I was a fireman, that when we would go on really difficult calls, us men that were there, we just compartmentalize. We stick it in a little box and stuff it away.
Yes.
and then maybe it comes out someday, maybe it doesn't.
Yes.
Where our female firefighters, they process things a little bit different. With that.
Yeah.
Do you want to fix your credit, but you don't want to waste time, get scammed, or throw thousands of dollars at the problem? Hey, I get it. That's why I created Credit Mojo, an AI-powered platform that takes decades of real credit strategy and puts it to work for you. The AI scans your credit report, finds the errors, and then creates custom, one-of-a-kind dispute letters. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to know any of the credit repair laws. You don't even need to pick up the phone and talk to anyone. You just simply follow a few simple steps, send in the letters, and let the process work. And because the letters come from you and not a third-party credit repair company, the credit bureaus can't ignore you, which makes the results even faster, stronger, and fully under your control. Try it today for only $1 at creditmojo.ai/School of Wealth. After the trial period ends, plans start at only $39.95 a month. That's it, $39.95 a month, and you can have great credit. This is the future of credit restoration. You owe yourself to have good credit. Go to creditmojo.ai/School of Wealth. What's one of your success stories? Tell me about someone that came to you and went through the program and where they're at now.
Yes. So there's one client in particular that came to the program. She had basically was going through kind of like not an identity crisis, but just like what we see a lot in our clients is they're successful and then they hit this glass ceiling that they can't really see is there. And it just feels like the things that used to fulfill them doesn't anymore. So there was a woman that came through the program, and she had one career that she had been in for years and years, and she wanted to launch an educational system, more of the online products and services, and had this idea brewing. And she also wanted to write a book. She wanted to get this out into the world. And she had an idea of what she wanted to charge. So that's one thing about the program is not only do we extract these ideas and visions out of our clients, but we also make sure like the pricing is really dialed in, because women tend to undercharge and not charge what they're worth. And so we're really conscious of that. Anyway, she came through the program. After 6 months, she launched the online program. And then within 12 months, more than 5 times the price on what she wanted to charge for the program, and has now been selling the program, and just feels really aligned and also fulfilled in not only just her main gig, if you will, but also like what she's doing to change the landscape of that industry through her products and services, her educational platform.
You know, that's interesting you say that, because it reminded me of, I have three clients right now that are women, they're women-owned businesses, and all 3 of them, I told them that they need to add a 0 to their prices.
Yeah.
All of them.
That's so good.
Add a 0. And they're like, no, I don't ever pay it. I'm like, you add a 0. So, one was charging whatever. So you add a 0 to it. And even if 90% of the people tell you no, you get the same amount of money at the end of the day.
Yes.
So instead of having 10
more.
clients,
Yes.
you now have 1 client
Right.
at the same profit margin.
Yes.
Technically a much higher profit margin.
Right.
So I do see that. It's very, very common that I think that's the motherhood issue, that they want to take care of someone and they feel guilty for charging too much. And I also see that with, even with my employees, that the men never have a problem asking me for a raise.
Yes.
But with the exception of one employee I had, the women would never ask for it.
Yeah.
And I would have to bring it up.
Yes.
And so I think that's a very common thing, that they feel under, like they don't feel good about charging as much.
Yeah. Well, and they misinterpret that, like, leading and rescuing, they're totally 2 different things.
Yeah.
Where it's like the women that are out there taking care of people or not charging what they're worth because they want to help people is just another form of self-sabotage and them trying to rescue. And when they're trying to rescue, what they're saying is that their clients are victims and they can't be resourceful and pay their prices. So it's a whole web that we weave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I first launched my tax consulting business, you were like, charge more, charge more.
Yes, I know.
More.
I was like, add a
And then
0.
I
I was giving your medicine back to you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Speaking of motherhood,
Yes.
tell me about the little girl.
Yes. Legend Blaze. She is 2. She is fiery and expressive, and it's so interesting. So my husband, Zach, as you know, is like built like football player. So he's like, has that like tackle energy.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember what position he played, but he tackled people.
Yeah. Linebacker. Probably.
Yeah, linebacker. But she has like this very girly side, of course, and then this like I'm coming for your throat kind of side to her, and it's really cool seeing her grow.
Yeah. So she's 2.
She's 2.
There's a gentleman in my forum, my EO forum, that has, I think the baby's now like 4 months old.
Oh, wow.
And I said, when they turn 6 months old and older, that's when they're fun.
Yes.
Prior to 6 months old, I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Yes,
They're cute, but it's fine.
Yeah. It is
So-
funny. Well, and isn't there something where it's like they always look like the man first,
Yeah.
so that from like the primal days, the man
Yep.
like wouldn't.
Yeah, I
damage the
read
baby.
that. I read a thing that said that when babies are born, they primarily look like the fathers.
Yes.
And then as they get older, they'll start looking more like the mother. And the
Yes.
reason for that was so the father knew it was their baby.
Yes, I heard that too.
And in the animal world, if they don't think it's their baby, they'll kill them.
Yes.
So for example, I went to, 4 years ago, I went on a bear hunt.
Okay.
And it's this island where they only let 4 people a year go on this island. And the primary reason for the bear hunt is because the males, an individual brown bear male in Alaska will kill as much as 12 babies a year if they don't control the most dominant males, if they don't, harvest them or whatever and kind of control that population.
Yeah.
And it's because they're the reason that they will kill 12 babies, they'll also kill 4 to 5 females.
Wow.
because then the mama tries to protect the baby cubs and, and the whole thing. And then the male bear ends up killing everything.
Yes, yeah.
Because they want to kill the babies of their competition, if you will.
Wow.
So is she starting to look more like you?
She is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing for her.
I know. Thank God. Yeah. I'm like, she is mine. No.
Yeah, she's yours.
Yes, she's mine.
I remember when Chastity was born. I was actually in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, when she was born. And then when I finally graduated AIT school, the helicopter school, I saw Chastity when she was 3 months old, 3 or 4 months old. But she looked so much like me when she was first born.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, that's my kid.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then as she's grown older, it's interesting. I have 3 children. And I remember their mom would get so upset because, we got married in high school. And so by the time I was 21, I had 3 kids.
Okay.
So we were kids that had kids. And I remember we'd go to the doctor appointments and we'd try to schedule them all at the same time. And the doctor would always ask her, is it the same father on all 3? Because my kids look different. Chastity's very tall. Mm-hmm. My middle daughter's very short.
Okay.
As in like 5'2". Chastity's 5'11" or 5'10".
Chastity's tall.
And Toya has has curly hair. Chastity has wavy hair.
Okay.
And then Indy's, so Chastity and Toya have brown hair. Indy's blonde.
Okay.
So they all look different, but they look similar as well.
Okay.
So I remember she used to get upset. She's like, yes, they're from the same father.
I love that. I still can't believe that you spent time in Fort Rucker. That's crazy.
Yes. Fort Rucker. It was great. I had such a good time in Fort Rucker.
Yeah.
So my plane ride from Boise, Idaho to Fort Leonard Wood was delayed.
Okay.
So because it was delayed, I got to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri late. So I missed the bus for my class. So then I went into the next class, which was 2 weeks later. So I hung out in the barracks for 2 weeks with all the guys that were going home. And they said, the first thing you got to do is go shave your head. So go shave your head and then take your BDUs, which were our battle dress uniforms. Well, I guess Sawyer wants to come up on the couch with you.
Yeah, do you want to come up here?
Sawyer is my service animal that if you're watching on YouTube, you can clearly see him. If you're listening, yep, he's going to get up on the couch with you.
Come here.
So they go take your BDUs and wash them in hot water and bleach them out, make them look used. So that's what I did. I went and I shaved my head.
That's wild.
I washed out all my BDUs and then I hung out. Everybody thought I was going home. So the drill sergeants didn't mess with me at all for 2 weeks. Well, because I'd missed that meant I also was 2 weeks behind on my advanced training at Fort Rucker. So when I showed up at Fort Rucker, I was in between classes.
Wow.
So I went to work for the sergeant major. And when I'm talking to the sergeant major, he's like, oh, so tell me about yourself. And so I started telling him that I used to be a funeral director and a embalmer. And he's like, really? And I said, yes. He goes, I was too. So then he's like, you are now my personal assistant. So for the 4 months I was at Fort Rucker, I didn't have to do all the dishwashing and the latrine duties and washing none of it.
Oh my gosh.
And I only worked Monday through Friday. I had Saturday and Sunday off as his personal assistant. So my Fort Rucker was amazing experience.
I've always wanted to go back just to see what it looks like, just to see where I was born, what it's like. Because I've never, you can't even see it on a map when you look at Alabama. And so the fact that you are like Fort Rucker, I'm just like, I've never heard of someone else being from Fort Rucker, or not from, but have been there. Yeah.
And it was interesting because I wore a flight suit because I was on the flight crew. So here I was, 18-year-old private, walking around with all these people saluting me all the time because they thought I was a pilot because I was part of the aviation group. So
yeah.
But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. And I was there from the end of July till the end of November.
Of what year again?
Of 1990.
90. So I was there in 86.
Yeah.
87.
You were born in 86?
87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I was there just 2 weeks ago.
In Fort Rucker.
Well, I went through.
Okay, through.
Yeah, I went through. So I went from Houston to Panama City, and then I went to that regenerative beef ranch.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes.
White Oaks Pasture.
Yes.
And learned about how to run a regenerative farm.
Yes.
Stacy is one of my customers on my eggs.
Your eggs are different, I must say. My daughter's nanny found a woman in Horseshoe Bend that
Okay.
sells her eggs. And so she's like, oh, I can just bring them. And they are so much different than your eggs.
I bet she keeps them locked up,
Yeah.
and I bet she feeds them a bunch of grain.
Yeah.
So I don't feed my chickens very much from about April until about November.
Okay.
So I give them a little bit of food at night to
Yes.
get them to go into the coop because they want to stay up on top. And if I leave them out, the raccoons get them.
Yes.
So I don't feed them very much other than my worms.
Okay.
I buy bags of worms.
Your worms are special.
Yeah. And that's what I use for the $6 a dozen that you give me.
Yes.
I buy treats for my chickens. But I learned at this farm how to, I don't use any pesticide anyway in my yards. I don't use any weed control, which I don't know that my neighbors appreciate all the dandelions in my,
Yes. You did have quite the grove the last time I was here.
they were out of control. Yeah. But you can see I don't use any weed killer.
Yes.
You know.
It's al natural.
This weekend, I'm going to make some.
Okay.
So it's a gallon of white vinegar, a quarter cup of laundry detergent, and then I think some baking soda was the
That's
other
so
thing.
interesting.
Because I do have some weeds
Yeah.
that I want to kill in the gravel and stuff. But I'm not going to go out there and put, Roundup on it.
No.
One, it's bad. And two, it goes into my well.
Yes.
And then my yard, and I have a very large yard.
Yes, you have a large yard.
My lawn guy bags it up and gives it to my cows.
That's so smart.
So they eat all of that. So I'm not going to use Roundup on my yard either.
What about
because
the laundry detergent? That seems a
it's
little...
dish soap.
Oh, okay.
It's biodegradable
Okay.
dish soap. The
Okay.
dish soap makes it. Maybe I said laundry detergent. I meant
you
dish
did.
soap.
That's why I was like, wait, I
Yeah,
don't think that'd be
like
good for your
Dawn
grass.
dish
Yeah,
soap.
Okay.
What it does is it will make it more sticky.
Got it.
So it'll get on the leaves, and then
Yes.
the vinegar. Oh, and salt. That was
Yes.
the other thing. Salt.
Okay.
The salt kills it. The vinegar and salt mixed together. The weeds don't like it.
Okay.
But what I learned at this regenerative farm from Will, he said that we don't. When I run an industrial farm, every day I look for something to kill.
Yeah.
A weed, a dandelion, a bush. He goes, I don't try to kill anything anymore, because what he does is 1 month it'll be cows, and then they take the cows off the land, and then a month later they'll bring in the goats, and then they bring in the sheep, and then they bring in the pigs, and they bring in the chickens. If the cow doesn't eat it, the pig, chicken, or sheep will eat it. And the
That's
sheep
right.
and goats will eat anything. He goes, that's how I control my weeds.
Okay.
And then eventually they just don't do very well. And if the pigs like eating anything, and then he brings in the chickens, and I figured out a way now to keep the raccoons away.
Okay.
I need to get a Permise dog. I think,
Okay.
Permise, something like that. It's like a big
You
sheep.
told me about this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big sheep like dog.
Yeah, so I need to
And
find one to rescue.
It stays outside with
Yeah,
everyone.
sleeps
Yes.
outside
Yes.
with the chickens, and
Yeah.
it keeps the raccoons and coyotes
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
right now I have I got about 20 hens, and I have 2 of them that are laying on about 2 dozen eggs.
Wow.
So in a couple weeks, there'll be little babies. You can bring Legend over to play with
I
the
love
babies
that.
when they're a couple weeks old, not when
that'd
they're
be
super
so
fragile.
cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but it's fun running the little farm thing.
Yes, yes.
It's my little tax game.
Well, it is perfect property for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It
a
is.
perfect tax game too.
It is a good tax
Yes.
game. So speaking of taxes,
Yes.
what is your favorite tax deduction or tax strategy? What do you got so far?
I mean, I would have to say it's using Legend as a model.
Okay.
I mean, you just can't get any better than that.
No.
And using the house as a retreat center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
those would be the two.
Using Legend, that's $15,000 a year that
Yeah.
you can make at SoulCharge and not pay any taxes. And then on your house, you could easily do $40,000 to $50,000 for your house,
Yeah.
because you have a big swimming pool too, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's where we have all of our company parties.
Yeah, you have the company party there and the barbecue, and then you can go to the butcher and get all the steaks and stuff and make sure that's tax deductible.
Yes, exactly.
Just make sure you're documenting it, who's
Yes.
there. And then
Yep.
you didn't used to have to do, so now that you have to document what you talked about.
Yeah.
So half the time has to be talking about your business with everybody.
Yes, yes. Well, and I'm so grateful that I have you as my strategist
Yeah,
to
to come up
empower
with
me
these
with
things.
all of these things.
Make sure you have all the documentation in,
Yes,
in
yes.
line, right?
All of my minutes.
Yes,
Yes.
your minutes and
Yep.
your operating agreement, and your
Yes.
bylaws and all that stuff.
What is your favorite strategy?
I think my favorite strategy that I use is the Augusta rule
Okay.
and home office.
Okay.
If you can do one or the other, however, if you file joint with you and Zach, if you file joint, you can only do one or the other. But if you and Zach file separately,
Yeah.
one can do the Augusta rule,
Okay.
and one can do the home office. And I'm not talking about the $1,500 CPA home office. I'm
Yes.
talking about the 10 to 20% of the household expenses.
Yeah. Yeah. See, our
deduction.
CPA was just giving us the $1,250.
Yeah.
Not even the $1,500.
And it's because CPAs, think of a CPA like a referee at a football game.
Yes.
They know the rules, but they're not allowed to coach.
Yeah.
If you called a timeout, if you're losing 14-0, you call timeout. You don't run over to the referee and ask them how to beat the opposing team.
Yes. Yep.
But that's what most people do with their taxes.
Yeah.
And they're always, I need a more aggressive, a more creative CPA. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You need a tax strategist because the CPA is there to make sure you follow the rule and also make sure the IRS follows the rules.
Right.
And even though the CPA knows the rules, they're not legally allowed to coach you on how to win the game of tax.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's really unfortunate that they're not allowed to do that, but that's the way the rules are set up.
Yes.
They're not allowed to tell you. And some of them will kind of hint around a little bit, like, oh, you can do this, but really you have to come up with it on your own.
Yes.
By going to seminars or coaching, or you hire someone like me to come up with a strategy for you and then prepare it for your CPA.
Yes.
And then once it's prepared, your CPA is like, oh yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Run the
And
play.
you're like, why didn't you tell me that before?
But I think what you said is so genius because people don't look at it that way. People look at the CPAs as if they're the coach and you're the coach and the CPA is just like echoing, yeah, you can run that play.
Yep.
But most people don't have plays to run.
No.
That's crazy when you put it that
The only
way.
plays that they can coach you on, because there's a few that they can coach you on.
Yeah.
It's an IRA, a 401k, an HSA, or a 129 plan.
Yeah.
That's it. The government approved retirement pension plans that the government can change at any time they want.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing they can really tell you.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but we'll just keep on sharing the word.
Totally.
So when you got, the other question I like to ask people is how you use business credit or just credit involved in your business.
Yeah.
Have you started building any business credit at all? Most people don't have it. They have good personal credit, so they just leverage that.
Yeah. I mean, there's like one AMEX that I have like for the business.
Okay.
But everything else has just been personal. Yeah.
Is it the American Express, the Platinum?
Yes.
The one you have to pay off every month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you like? What's one of the benefits you like for that card?
Well, I'm not using it as much anymore, but when I was using it, was just the airline miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was huge. I think when I signed up with it, it was like, it also was the spend, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Lots of miles.
It's nice that they don't have a lot of people are like, they will say to me, they're like, I want the credit card that has no limit. Well, there isn't one.
Right. Right.
It just has no preset spending
Yes,
limit.
yes.
But there is a limit.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The limit is making sure you pay that off. Yeah.
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 Yeah. They don't just say, oh, spend all you want.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to that card that a lot of people don't know of, like free Walmart Plus.
Yeah.
So I use that for diesel. And then you get free deliveries and some other stuff.
okay.
And then also I think I get Paramount Plus for free, which, it's TV,
Yes.
the movie show or the movie channel. And
There's like
then
gift cards. I mean, there's a ton
there's
of
gift
benefits.
cards. And then you usually get like a $200 airline credit. So you pick what airline.
Yeah.
And then you can use that for baggage or food or drinks on the airline outside of a ticket. You can't use it for a ticket, but any other expenses. And then access to the clubs,
Yeah.
which that is, I don't mind layovers and delays much.
Right.
Not like before where you couldn't go into a club and relax.
Yeah.
And there's some really good ones with beds and gyms and movie theater. I went to a club once in China. They had a whole movie theater there.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And showers and bedrooms where you could take, naps or sleep there.
Yes.
The club in Miami, I'd go, a lot of times I will fly to Miami and do the red eye.
Okay.
And then check in the club and get 7 hours of sleep.
That's awesome.
Right inside the
They're
club.
super comfortable. Yeah.
And then the concierge service has been great.
Mm-hmm.
You can call them and they'll book airfare for you, get your hotel rooms, get you a car. Mm-hmm. And then also the travel insurance. It's been really beneficial. This trip that I went just a week ago from Florida, I went to Florida, Alabama, and then Georgia, and then ended up in South Carolina.
Okay.
When I picked up my car, the whole side, somebody had sideswiped something. And so I went back to the airport, and I have a video of it. And I went inside, and they're like, oh, we'll give you a new card. I'm like, I'd already waited 2 hours for a car. I'm like, I don't need to wait anymore. But what's interesting with certain cards, so your signature series visas,
Yes.
so your Costco's, your the good credit cards with Visa. It says signature in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
They come with the travel insurance and rental car insurance. So if you did get in a car accident, you don't have to use the rental car insurance.
Okay.
And sometimes, like when I go to Vegas and rent a car, the insurance is more than the car rental.
Yes. Yep.
And they make really good money on that car rental insurance. And I learned recently how they're making the money on that, as well as the warranty stuff.
Okay.
And that's captive insurance. It's called an 831B.
Oh, yes. Our friend Bree. Yes.
Yes, our friend Bree.
Yes.
So I went to their boot camp
Okay.
a few weeks ago and learned how you can take 30% of your gross revenue, and you can, what SRA does, that's the company that Bree works for. 831B is the name of the tax code of the program. It's like a 401k, but it's 831B. And it works a lot like a 401k.
So interesting.
You can deduct up to 30% of your revenue, or $2.5 million. So SoulCharge could take 30% of the revenue and pay for your self-insurance. So SRA would set up an insurance company for you,
Okay.
a C Corp. So you could take, I'll just make up a number. You can go up to $2.5 million. So you can literally take $2.5 million out of SoulCharge every year, put it into SoulCharge Insurance Company
Yes.
as a tax deduction. And as long as you don't have any claims against your own company, then that $2.5 million minus the few $1,000s in fees is accessible to you tax-free. And you now can invest that money in the stock market, or you can go buy real estate with it, or you can go buy another
good tool.
business with it.
Yeah,
So it's tax deductible, 30% going in tax deductible. Then you can go out and invest it. And it's a lot like a 401k.
Okay.
Because after 10 years, that money sits there, and now you can start pulling it out, either alone, tax-free, or you can pull it out with long-term capital gains, which is half of what pulling money out of a 401k would cost you.
Yes.
So it's
Wow.
insurance. And when you start going down and digging into the weeds with taxes and credit, there's some really cool stuff
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah. You have so many resources.
Yeah, it's-
Every time we talk, I'm just like,
Yeah,
I need
so-
to just run it all.
Do you do anything with Microsoft? Or do you do anything with like your education? Is it online, cloud-based or anything?
No, so we have a portal that we send clients through, but as far as the group coaching, it's all live delivery with the coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Microsoft has this program right now. It's a $500,000. It's essentially a grant. It's
Okay.
a $500,000 grant where if you use their products to manage your company,
Yes.
they're trying to get money or trying to get business away from Google.
Oh, okay.
So they literally, you go get a loan for $500,000.
Okay.
They make the payments on this loan, and after 5 years, they pay off the loan as long as you use their products instead of Google
Yeah.
for their storage, and then Azure and all the rest of the stuff. So
Yes.
for tech companies, it's a big deal. $500,000 for
That's
free,
huge.
essentially.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to have good credit and some other things, but you don't have to qualify. You don't have to have the income to qualify because Microsoft pays the payments on it.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So you have one American Express card for SoulCharge. Do you use it much?
No.
Not anymore? Because
No.
you just don't have a lot of expenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to use my cards a lot. I
Yeah.
have millions of points. And now that I'm not really promoting Fortress on the credit repair side on Facebook, well, it's been so much fun, Stacy, here.
You too.
Where would people find you?
SoulCharge.com is the best place.
SoulCharge.com.
SoulCharge.com. SoulCharge.com. SoulCharge.com.
What if I don't want to go there and I want to go to Instagram?
You could go and find my handle, which is at Stacy Bahrenfuss.
Stacy
luck with that
Bahrenfuss. It's been so great having you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep.